Hello, my name is Brianna, and I'm going to be talking about AI and ELLs. So, an introduction to the blog that an article that I chose is called Using AI to Support Multilingual Students by Sarah Sade. An overview of this is that the article explores how AI can help multilingual students on how they read, comprehends like English, and it just overall enhances their literacy skills. So the reason for the selection is that AI has become a lot more prominent, obviously, in education, and we need to start to become friends almost with AI, and instead of using it and viewing it as the enemy. Um, so the summary of key points that I chose for the blog and art/article is that AI as a tool for comprehensible input. It can generate simplified versions of hard text, which makes it more easier for them to understand and learn these um, texts that are being provided to them, the students. The second one is that teachers can use AI to produce these model texts, which is different ways to specific writing styles and structures, and it helps the students in a lot of ways. And then the third one key point is that it supports for writing and speaking. And this helps them put their thoughts into words, even though they might not be able to say what they're trying to say since it's a different language. So the pros and cons of and the classroom example, a pro to having AI tools for multilingual learners is that it can make text better for understanding. It helps supports their thoughts and their ideas into structured sentences. It can generate text models, and it encourages the idea of student engagement and independency as well. A con, though, for the AI is that there is a risk of over reliance, and we really don't want the children to be, or the students to be, over relying on AI, which is never good. It could also, AI could also produce incorrect content, and we need to be overseeing, teachers need to be overwatching what it is the content that they're seeing, the students are seeing, what could because it could be misinterpreted. And not all students may have access to technology, so that's another con. And an example for a school to implement this is that a middle school teacher could use ChatGPT to simplify any article, honestly, for them. Or if a student has to draft a paragraph and need to write it in English, they could use ChatGPT to help them. And it just helps them make mentor texts and models. So the learning theory, one of them is cognitivism, which is um, basically how it helps them process information more clearly and store it more effectively. AI, um, by simplifying texts and all that stuff. So constructivism as well, students actively engage with AI to generate ideas. This aligns with constructivist views that learners build understanding by doing and reflecting. And then social constructivism is that um, when paired with teacher and peers feedback, this support learning as a social and collaborative process. So they can use AI to for peer mentors reviews. So historically marginalized learner groups. So who are the ELLs, you may be asking? So English language learners are students whose first language is not English. They are learning English as well as doing academics, so they're learning math, they're learning all these new things as long as learning a new language above. Um, so what are some challenges that they might be facing? Is that they might be facing a difficulty understanding instructions and academic vocabulary because they don't understand the language. They may not be able to express their ideas in English, and that they have an increase of anxiety comparison to and compared to other students, and they don't participate in class much because they don't want to get embarrassed, and obviously that's valid. And special needs that they might need is that they might need bilingual support, visual aids, vocabulary development strategies, and just help to tailor their language proficiency level. So some possible benefits is that AI, it's like a real-time language support, so it's on whenever they might need a like help with English, they could always just go to ChatGPT real quick. Like or Google Translate, those are really easy. It's also a personalized learning experience, and they get like a second teacher almost in a way by doing this. It's also known that their confidence is very much increased after um, using AI, and they feel confident that they are starting to learn and get along with like the culture around them, and that they also have a 24 access to like language help whenever they need it, even outside the classroom, which is great. So, possible challenges that they might face is a limited cultural context. They might not know certain slang words. AI, especially, might not know slang words, and it could be very misinterpreted. So, obviously, another challenge is the over reliance on AI because then they aren't technically learning and they're just relying on a device. Also, a lack of personal connection could be a possible challenge because they aren't interacting with human. They're interacting with a device, which is not great. And then another one is digital access and equity issues. So they might not have this at home, which is a problem. But strategies to overcome these is that we're going to try and combine AI with human interaction. We have to limit the use of AI. And again, this is not a replacement for human interactions or a teacher. This is going to be used as a helping tool, as a supplement, and this needs to be understood in that way. And then another one is teach digital literacy. It can offer many lessons on how to critically evaluate AI generated translations and responses, and the ELLs can use these tools effectively. And then we have to obviously monitor these very closely, and we have to check for over reliance and misuse of AI. So this has to be reinforced that the student is learning and it's for independency. So peer review questions for reviews. So one of them that matches is evaluate. So one of the questions was, how might AI tools like translation apps and ChatGPT or chatbots benefit another historically marginalized group like students with dyslexia or those with low-income communities, and what adjustments might be needed? So to analyze, what are some additional ways AI be could be used in the classroom to support English language learners beyond language translation? Consider reading, comprehension, speaking, or writing skills. So, and then evaluating, obviously. Do you agree with the argument that over reliance on AI can be a barrier for ELLs in developing authentic communication skills? Why or why not? I am really curious about that one. So, if anyone wants to message me on that one. So, the conclusion today is that AI tools like translation apps, chatbots can be a powerful resource for ELLs, especially, and it can help them improve language, support their language development, and enhance access to the curriculum. These tools reflect constructive and social constructive learning theories. And to overcome these barriers, educators should combine AI tools with human interaction, monitor the progress, and scaffold usage. With thoughtful implementation, AI in education can be a valuable ally in promoting equity and inclusion for ELL students. And then these are my references. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, everyone.